Yo, what up, man? It's Dope Man, the Body Your God, and right now you kicking it with Space City Collective right in the southeast.
You're now kicking it with Space City. That's right.
Yo, what's going down? It's that boy T, the screwed up SA, and you now kicking it with Space City Podcast.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for coming back, kicking it with Space City. Right now, we got some special guests with us.
Got my professor, my friend, Lucas Valente. Let them know what we got going on today.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Hello, everybody.
Super happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves and like what y'all do.
We're professional jiu-jitsu athletes and professors.
Okay. Gracie.
Yes,
Yeah,
in Gracie, Baja, Texas.
Yeah, we're training under Professor Cuculino at Gracie, Baja, Texas, and also we are the main instructors there.
The main.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Like, how long have y'all been the main instructors?
It was more than,
Me for about 6 years.
yeah, me for.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
It's been a while, right?
I know you joined like 11 years ago. Or...
In 09. It's 2010, something like that.
And Lucas was there whenever?
Nah, you're in Brazil, right?
Yeah, I was in Brazil still.
Oh, okay.
Came here in 2014.
Straight to Houston, or were you in California, anywhere else?
Straight to Houston.
Okay.
So, what part of Brazil you guys from?
I'm from Belo Horizonte, southeast mountains, kind of like Colorado of Brazil.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm from Curitiba, Paraná. It's kind of like Europe.
Is it like city
It was
life?
Europe or Brazil?
Yeah, it is cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's cold in Brazil.
Yeah, it is.
It
My
snows?
city's cold. Uh-huh.
Okay.
What's the population like in that city, in your city?
Curitiba's huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big cities.
BH is big too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the capital.
Yeah,
Oh.
mine's in capital too.
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay. How far is BH from Curitiba?
Like driving, if you had to
That's
drive.
far.
Yeah, it's
Right, that's where.
Oh,
Oh.
damn.
Yeah, it's-
What?
Brazil's huge.
It's like from here to Colorado.
yeah,
We drove to Colorado not that long ago. It was like 17 hours, right?
It was like,
it's about it.
yeah, about that.
Okay.
dang, literally Colorado.
And tell us, how did you guys meet? Like, I know y'all both competitors coming up on the ranks, winning gold medals. Like, did you always like know each other,
He
or
hit on me.
she thought she shot the first shot?
I was waiting for it.
How?
It's true.
She just showed up to your match or
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Hit
dang.
me up.
You saw him on
slid in the
TV.
DMs?
No,
Yeah.
no,
She slid in the DMs.
no, I like the picture. That's
Oh,
But same.
same thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so one friend of, like he was explaining,
Yeah.
the
The staff.
staff that he had on his back, that he went to the tournament without the consent of the doctor. And on that same tournament, one friend of mine, her name is Tayana, she was looking at like people fighting, and she thought Lucas was my type because she always wanted to hook me up with somebody because I wouldn't leave the school. She wanted me to go to party with her, and I didn't want to party.
Just training.
Yeah, just training. And she said, so I'm going to find somebody to train with you. You know, she was obsessed about making that happen. And then she saw Lucas and she texted me, tomorrow I'm going to show a guy that you're going to like. Whatever, you know, you're showing me. I feel already and then I did not like.
Yeah.
So Lucas, I really liked it because he was beautiful. And also there was a picture of him with both legs.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the picture that I like. I was like, damn, she should have a good
That one
car.
went viral, right?
Yeah.
What picture?
Uh-huh. And I really like
He had
it.
his legs around.
But
What?
5 minutes later, he was the one that
Okay, now my story. Okay. I remember exactly. It was a Thursday. Okay, I finished the 11 a.m. class. I was training. Then I finished training. I changed. Then I sat on the couch at the gym. The same couch that there's still there, right? And I got into my Instagram. You know, I was chilling. You know, with that good vibe after training, right? And then I checked and I saw this girl like my picture, right? And I looked. And I'm like, oh. And then I saw we had like several friends in common. So then I slid into her DM.
5 minutes
But she
later.
started.
That fast?
Yeah.
It was like you liked it and then
No,
DM.
and he was actually aggressive. He said, oh my goodness, you were so cute in Portuguese. That means like you were gata, cat.
Got that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I always see people saying that. I'm always.
He was like kind of aggressive. I was like, damn.
He was straight to the point.
He was straight to the point. I was like, okay, let's talk. You know? But like we talked for about 6 months, right? To home.
Long
before-
distance?
Yeah, before we met.
And you were living in Brazil,
I was living
and you
in
were
Brazil.
here.
Yeah.
And
But the
then,
funny thing was that during blue, purple, and brown, I mean, my brown, because she was purple at the time, we've been to several tournaments. Like, we went to the same tournaments, and we were in the same WhatsApp group
Mm.
at a time. And she remembered, like, people talking to me on the group and everything, but she never realized that, you know, it was me. And then later, she was like, oh, I remember them, like, them talking about you and kind of stuff. But we never met until that point.
Yeah. And y'all met, when y'all first met, was it here? In Houston?
Was California.
In California.
Damn.
we went to San Martin to 5.
Oh, both of y'all went to fight.
Yeah, I went to 5 and he went to 5 too, so we met there. He actually helped me really much on my matches.
You coached her?
Yeah, he told me.
That's ride or die. Huh?
I was like, okay, he's really
Right.
messing on me.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I was
sure.
on the open class, the last match of the tournament. Everybody had left. Lucas was there for me on our first,
Yeah.
like,
First official date?
together, you know?
Yeah.
Right, first
And then
official date.
We saw each other.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's a
Come on, I know how to
So,
play. So,
real qu-
no, first date.
Is that your first date?
No,
That,
no, first date. I took her to Outback.
nice.
Outback
Yeah.
Steakhouse?
I love that place.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Y'all get blooming onion or not? You don't like fried food, right?
No.
Do you eat fried food?
No,
At all,
I
right?
don't think the last time I ate was probably 15, 16 years ago.
What the
I was telling
what?
him, you know what?
Hey, okay. So my bad. But he told me, he's like, this dude has probably never tasted a soda. Is that true?
So
When's the last time you had soda, if you ever had it?
probably 11, 12.
In Brazil, we have really good sodas.
Yeah.
Artisanal sodas. So those ones I used to like take it.
What's the difference?
So they have, like, for example,
It's like
Guaraná?
Guaraná.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a
that,
fruit,
that,
right?
that they usually mix with açaí.
Yeah.
You usually see Guaraná and
Mhm.
açaí. And they kind of mix that with carbonated water and make a soda out of it.
It's not as unhealthy like what they give us out here.
I mean, they still put a ton of sugar in
Mhm.
it, but it's basically carbonated water, sugar, and Guaraná.
No, but here you have like 1,000
Yeah.
chemicals that they put. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is healthy.
It is healthy.
There
It
is
is, yeah.
sugar on it, but it's definitely
Yeah, so a lot of people drink that in Brazil.
And that's the last soda you had. Have you ever tried a Coke? Sprite?
Yeah, but I don't remember at all.
You know,
What, dude? Oh my god.
So you're real into your nutrition.
Yeah, I started like
yeah, I was telling you.
caring about nutrition since I was a little kid.
What made you like get
So-
really involved in health?
When I was literally a baby, you know, my mom used to be the director of the hospital.
Okay.
So she would be working all day, and I would stay at my uncle's house. And my uncle, he's one of Drake's first black belts. And at that time, you know, it was kind of different. You know, it was the time that people used to train, and everything was more relaxed. You know, it wasn't that this high-speed thing that we have nowadays. You know, like on the routine and everything. So people would train, and after training, they would go to my uncle's house. And they had a big mat there, and the mat's still there actually. And they would train and barbecue after the noon train. And I was there, right? And I would be there. And then at that time, I started to see professional fighters since I was a baby. You know, when they started playing with me, you know, like playing guard with me and teaching me armbar. Actually, the first position I've ever learned was armbar from mount.
Okay.
You know, so they started playing with me, and I love superheroes. You know, I love superheroes. I still do. You know, and I would be watching movies or comics, and I would see like superheroes, and I would see them like all swelled up, ripped, and saving the day and kind of stuff. And then I would look, and I would see those professional fighters all ripped and swelled up, near to me, so I started like assimilating those things. I was like, okay, they're very similar. So I started to assimilate that professional fighters and superheroes.
Nice.
You know, and I think that's how I started to get involved into it. And I would see them like through the process of eating healthy, eating salad, cutting weight, and kind of stuff. And I think my uncle played a big role into that because he would get to me. I remember he would arrive from training, and I remember perfect because I would hug him and I would bite him. Just like not
right.
You know, I would
As
just bite
like
him
kid,
for fun. And he would be like, "Oh, don't do that! I'm nasty. I'm all sweaty. It's salty." Right? Because he would be salty from training. And then he would come to me and say, "Lou," that's kind of like how my family calls me, right? Lu. Like, "Lou, come here to my room. I'm gonna give you a gift." So he would just bring like a fresh fruit, like an apricot, a plum, or whatever, and he would give it to me so excited, you know, that I started to see like, okay, so fruit is like a prize. It's a really good thing. You know, I think that's how everything started. You know, I started to see like fruit as something like really, really good.
Yeah,
as
it's like a prize. Yeah, gift. Yeah,
you know,
for
because I
sure.
would see my uncle's happiness on giving it to me. He's like, "Look, I have something really cool to give to you. Come here."
You thought you were
And
getting a
I would go there and
toy?
he would give me like a really what?
Instead of getting a toy, you got something.
Yeah. So he would give me like a really fresh fruit, and I started loving it.
Okay. So as a kid, you've been into your health.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I as long as I can remember, I think that's how it started. You know.
And-
us Mexicans, like,
Yeah,
the
it's
diet's
we're
like-
eating tacos since
Swahili.
baby. Since baby.
Taquitos.
Taquitos.
But now I'm kind of like, I'm on the healthy wave right now.
You can still eat good taquitos.
Just the good ingredients, you
Good
know.
ingredients. That's what
I'm-
Fish tacos, man.
We had some yesterday.
It hasn't missed.
We had some salmon tacos yesterday.
Oh, that sounds
And it was
great.
real crispy, the salmon.
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the one
Nice.
from Mumble?
Yeah, and it has like avocado and like coleslaw. Not the coleslaw, but the cabbage
Mm-hmm.
with lime,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
corn tortilla. And how long have you been training jiu-jitsu
So I started when I was a little kid.
as
At
well?
that time, yeah.
Yeah, I started when I was like 15 years old.
Okay, you remember your age, Lucas? Kinda.
Off the womb.
First time I started playing, that they started teaching
Well-
armbar and everything, I was like 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Dang.
So as you can remember.
As long as you can walk, basically.
That could be, right? It's,
And then I'll be playing around. My uncle would train me until I joined Gracie Barra BH Kids program,
Okay.
which was led by Professor already.
so you've been in Gracie Baja like since
Yeah.
Brazil and everything?
Yeah,
Dang,
since
that's
day
so
one.
cool.
Damn.
And how long has BH in Brazil been around? I know Drac, since Drac was back then.
I started in 1995.
Okay.
That's when Drac first went to BH.
And then they came here in what? 09? 8? 2008?
2008, I believe.
Webster was the first one?
2008.
Yeah, Webster of El Dorado.
El Dorado,
It was
yes.
hood. You remember
That's
that?
good.
It was like hood, like it was like apartments across the street.
I know it is.
And it was like bar at like
Yeah.
at a corner right there.
I remember.
Yeah.
They had like a snow cone or yogurt, frozen yogurt, or is that?
It's so nice to the evolution, right?
For sure.
You think about El Dorado and where it was and everything, and now the huge building that's.
Yeah. Then where they're at now to that, it's
Yeah.
like crazy. I haven't even gone to the location, but I hear it's huge.
Freaking palace.
It's a fast.
Where is it?
It's on us.
It's by Nobi, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly like across the street.
Where the tracks are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's tracks, right? And then it's on this side or
You
on
know
Nobi side?
the bypass?
Mm-hmm.
When you go on the bypass, you can see it. Yeah. Really big.
When that opening?
So we're aiming for the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, we're aiming to do the
Y'all gonna have some specials?
end of the year
I'm
graduation.
gonna join.
At the,
Yeah, let's
it'll be
go.
awesome. Yeah.
Alright.
You know, so we're thinking about we're trying to like the goal is to make the end of the year graduation there already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's,
a big party, you know, like a big seminar.
nice.
That's the goal.
And also we're gonna have a homie summer.
I seen that.
Yeah, that's gonna be in August.
August.
Yeah, it's still gonna be on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah.
And I seen Gabriel Arches was there yesterday. How was that? You've been on him for forever too?
Yeah. So funny thing, he used to give me rides to the gym because I couldn't drive.
He's older than you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his family lives on the street behind mine.
Okay.
So
nice.
his mom and my mom, they're friends.
Dope.
And so it's funny because nowadays they get together to talk. and they always like kind of not crying, but like
Reminiscing on the
yeah,
time.
reminiscing.
Yeah.
No, and just like, oh, we miss them so much,
Mhm.
like you know. And
Yeah, so far.
because I'm here and they was in California, you
Yeah.
know. So it's always great to see him.
For sure. And how's training with him? Pretty good.
Yeah, always. You know, we train a lot, you know, since forever, you know, and it's always good. He's one of the most technical guys I've ever seen,
Yeah, I hear it.
you know, so it's always a great time.
And when was the last time y'all trained together from being separate and like coming up together? Like,
So
what's the
last
difference?
time we trained was here actually.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
No.
You said?
Before
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So it was here, I believe, last year.
I remember he came last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So last year, and before that, we trained in BH when me and him were visiting BH.
Okay.
And we almost crossing the age again this time because I was there. But as soon as I think like the day I left, he arrived the next day. So we didn't get in the age.
And do you see like the differences in those games, like the evolution, or it's kind of like they kind of know each other already? Kind of.
Man,
Same thing.
I think we're both always improving.
Right.
You know, always with new things added to the game.
Mhm.
You know, and it's always a great exchange of knowledge.
Knowledge,
you
for
know.
sure.
It's always amazing.
Yeah, Gabriel's he's a real talent for sure.
Yeah.
Two-time world champ, right? And what do you have coming up? Anything?
So right now we have several seminars, so we're gonna be traveling a lot, you know, and it's always a fun time to do that, you know,
Mhm.
because we get to meet a lot of people, we get to train with several different people, you know, we go to other schools and we can grow with people and you know talk with them. It's always a great time, and we're trying to use this the second semester of the year to focus more on no gi, you know, but always, I mean, competition wise, no gi, but still training intensely in the gi, you know.
What's your schedule usually like? Like you start off the day and you take your protein.
Oh,
you go to the gym, strength and
I was about to
conditioning.
ask him that. What do you eat like when you wake up?
So
Do you skip breakfast real quick?
no,
No.
I definitely. Oh, sorry. Can I be here?
All the time.
Put it in the middle.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I usually train 3 to 2 times a day. It depends on the intensity. You know, if it's really intense, it's 2. If it's low intensity, it's 3. And I usually focus on technical part, physical part, mental part, and strategy. You know, so I like to cover everything. You know, I don't like to leave any stone unturned.
For sure. And also, obviously, it depends on what kind of tournament you have, what kind of match you have coming up, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's no gi, you're gonna focus more on this
Yes.
or that, right? You know, if you have like one opponent, you're gonna just focus on what you can do.
Exactly. We adapt with that. You know,
Mhm.
Drac help us tremendously with this. You know, with the training strategy. You
Yeah,
know, on
yeah.
how to train, on what to focus on training. You know,
It's
so
crazy how sorry to cut you off. How he became one of the best coaches in the game, bro. We've always known that, but
Yeah.
like right now, he's up there.
oh, he's the best. Yeah.
And I really like the way that he really helps us whenever he's here, because he's always making challenging
Mm-hmm.
position cards, like starting in positions
That you're not
that
that
are not
yeah.
our
Mhm.
game, because he wants us to be comfortable in those situations, and if he tells us to go there, we can make something happen.
For sure.
Like he always make those little challenging, especially like more specific for Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
but for me too.
Yeah.
But the way that he leads, it is really like, even yesterday I was complaining because he asked me to do half board.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, Josh, I don't want to do half board because
Yeah.
that's not a really comfortable
Yeah,
position to be in, like squished and getting
Mhm,
cross-faced.
And that's the fun part, you know, like the challenge motivates us. Because if you imagine for so many years you train multiple times a day, if your only goal is to, okay, let me show up to the gym and try to beat people up or beat everybody up and kind of stuff, you get bored. You know, you get bored. Like, let's
You
suppose,
don't improve this much.
what good is gonna make you to go to a training session and whatever, triangle blue belt 20 times, you know, or armbar the blue belt 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it might seem fun, like once, twice, and then you start getting bored. And then you're like, man, why do I need to train again today to do that same thing that I just did? But when you start having challenge, every day you have something new, not necessarily change something every day, but you know, let's suppose you're doing something that is not your specialty, something that is not your main game, and you see your improvement. So it's kind of like you have that white belt mentality all over again.
Yeah.
You know that you're learning, you're improving, everything is new. You learn a new detail that will help you in this position. You know, and it's very motivating.
For sure.
It makes so much fun for that. For like you do that every single day, twice, 3 times a day. So it makes it fun again, like to be
Trying,
it's like new.
mentality of learning, getting.
You're still
like,
learning,
oh my God,
even-
this different detail today. That's what I got it today. Tomorrow it's gonna I'm gonna test it
Mhm.
and improve from there. Like so every single day we have like a line of improvement faster because we are tracking that. Like, oh, maybe sometimes we record
Mm-hmm.
to watch what we think wrong, what we can do better, what I did well, that I can keep doing the same recipe
Mhm.
to work next time.
Whatever's working.
Yeah, so we really like to track all parts of our training to make sure we have not many gaps.
Mm-hmm. That way, like you said, no stone
Yeah.
goes unturned, for sure.
That's good. Like it just improves your game, like
Yeah, I know
every day.
you always start in like uncomfortable positions. Like you always tell me, start on my back
Yeah.
and like improve from there. A lot of people go, like you said, just go to the gym and they just want to smash everybody. And a lot of times, like that slows down your learning process too,
It
right?
does. And then you're gonna reach a plateau, you know,
Mhm.
because you're not really learning anything new, or you might even be learning, but you're not putting yourself in the position to actually improve on that and actually learn it. You know, because when you see something, okay, that's a seed that is planted into your mind. If you don't water it, it's not gonna grow. You know, it's kind of like I learned this from Drac one time. He said this at a seminar, you know, and then I started using this in others too. Like people go to the seminar, and at the end we tell people, guys, so we didn't teach you anything today. You know, we just planted a seed in your mind of those techniques, of those concepts. Now you gotta make it grow. You know.
It's up to you to make it
Exactly.
grow.
You know, you know the mechanics of this, you know how the position works. Now you gotta train on it and like drill it, improve, study on it to be able to implement it again.
For sure.
Like I feel really blessed to also have Lucas by my side because he's such a nerd and always trying to improve. And like I even joke with him, I call him Mr. Google. Because any question that I have, I don't Google, I ask him. So especially jiu-jitsu.
And he usually has answers.
Yeah, he usually has answers. Sometimes he don't, and he goes on Google and he gets it and answers me.
Figures it out.
So, but about jiu-jitsu, I feel really blessed that I can like have him by my side all the time, and I can always ask him like his point or like the techniques that he wants me to work on, or I make him like watch my training and like criticize me like, oh, you're doing this wrong, that wrong. It is actually really frustrating
I know,
when we do
I've seen
that
it.
together.
Yeah.
Because I see that like so many gaps that I gotta
Fill
fill
in.
up. Then I was like, I gotta make a list, you know? That, but I feel really blessed that every time that I make that list, he will go one by one, and we'll cover like to be able to all the time
Just grow.
just grow. And like I really got this mindset because of him. Before I really like before we met, I was really like on the mindset of the change. You're like going to train. But I was really dancing training only that way, like
Porrada.
only porrada, drilling a little bit, but porrada again, porrada again. Not like really smart, studying strategy.
No, not too much.
Yeah,
Just
and he taught me that how to be like a smart fighter, like be able to not sometimes not overpower somebody, but
outsmart him.
outsmart them. Like they're stronger than you, so we're gonna have to use more distance, you know. So he always making the jiu-jitsu easier for me.
Okay,
you
making
know?
the adjustments.
Makes the adjustments to like to beat any opponent that I can have, and I feel like I can because he's always on by my side and like giving me that plan to follow.
For sure. And what about like, because when I met you, you're mostly like, I think I mentioned we're purple belts or something, and you're a competitor, right? Now you're coach and competitor. How does that? I think it made you better, but what's the difference, and like what are the plus and the negatives you'd say?
Yeah, I think the way that I learned the most from my career was being the dummy, right, or the uke for Drac, for Marcelo, for Serginho, for Cavaquinha, for Mauro, who were my professors, and my uncle, of course. And that was the way that I learned the most, you know, because I could feel it, what they're doing, you know, they're showing the technique on me, the class, and that my learning curve went like skyrocketed, you know, and I think I was able to use that same line, the same type of improvement when I'm explaining on someone, you know, when people make questions, and a lot of times, like I need to dig deep into my mind to be able to find an answer for that, and that makes me better.
Yeah, makes you think about it.
So for sure, being a coach and especially training somebody like the caliber of Andressa, you know, really helps me to, you know, to find solutions on how to train better and how to coach them better too.
And you, Andressa, what do you think is the biggest difference of being a coach versus athlete just competing?
I feel like it's challenging for me, but at the same time I feel excited for them. Like to show the martial arts that has transformed my life. And I know that it gave me so many benefits, you know, that usually I'm coach more the beginners, you know, the higher belts I look to witness, you know, and I feel like that every single time I see them doing like what I taught, you know, it makes me so much happy. Like whenever I see them doing well in tournaments or like doing the technique that I just taught them or a detail or a strategy that I learned and I pass on, like I feel like that makes me a better fighter too.
Yeah, you feel accomplished.
I feel accomplished, and every single time I teach, I try to go like with all details. In those details, I gotta remind them before. And for me to remind them, I'm gonna be able to apply them better while I'm training too. So coaching and training, you walk side by side. You really get better by coaching.
Yeah, because no disrespect, but me, I don't like to coach. I get anxiety. My hands get sweaty. I can't, like, I have a low voice, so I don't scream loud.
No, I'll tell you something. I get a lot more nervous when my students are competing than when I'm competing.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's something that it's out of my control.
Right.
You know, and just that, you know. But it's challenging. But Drac always led by example on that.
Yeah.
You know, so he was the proof that it could be done.
Yeah, because I've been at events and like I haven't been training for like maybe going on 2 years, like consistently, and like people that I know be like, "Hey Christian, I don't have a coach. Can you coach me?" And I'm like, "I don't know your game. I don't barely know you, but I'm a black belt, so I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna coach you. I'm already here." So I always be like, in my head, I'm always like, "Please, Somebody show up.
But
Somebody show up.
yeah, but the thing is,
Don't
It's
let that
stressful.
I make it like
Yeah.
I made like a game for me. You
Okay.
know? So I like to take to another level in regards to I do exactly like I do with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I do for Andressa, or when a student of mine asks me to coach, I don't like to simply coach. So I like to break down their opponent. I like to see their weaknesses, their strengths. Like every single thing. Like they usually in 8 out of 10 fights they got tired after the 3-minute mark. Or they only attack with this hand. Or they only attack with that hand.
So you guys can get real precise with it.
Exactly. So I'll give an example. I'm not gonna tell you what it was because it was a lot of stuff. But I did this last-minute match last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
How was that, by the way?
I won. Thank
The
God.
event was
Yeah.
good though.
Yeah, it was great. It was the main event for Elevate,
Sorry, I couldn't make it.
No
I was
worries.
here.
and then it was like 3 days notice. And what I did was, so I had a two full pages break down my opponent, every single thing that I could do. So I narrowed it down to 2 ways, and I even told Andressa, so this is gonna happen. I either gonna win this way or I'm gonna win this other way, and it's so good to see that because it works and you feel so comfortable when it happening. It's kind of like you had a cheat code to the game. Because I see like, okay, so this person only does this to this side, or when this happens, they retract, they move forward, whatever that is, And
So you study body mechanics, basically.
yes, that too. I studied their mindset. I see things that get them frustrated, things that get them
Out of their
pumped
game.
up to fight, or and all of those things. So I like to do that breakdown. And of course, I do this with ourselves too, so we can improve ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, so I've been having this bad pattern here. Let me fix that pattern. So for me, it becomes almost like a game.
It is like a
So it gets really fun.
So how was that match?
Yeah, you knew what you were gonna win by.
So I knew two things was gonna happen. So it was submission only, right? So I'm not gonna give much details on it. I can tell you guys off the record, but I knew that either he would really try to come forward, which is great for me. Like the more aggressive the person is, more they open for me to attack submissions, or he would try to be very conservative, and I would keep attacking and going for submission, which would lead me to victory either way. But this is more like a simplistic way.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
You can definitely like break it down to even more details.
Mhm.
So what you get on me?
Hmm?
What you?
So it was a unanimous decision.
Oh, unanimous.
Yeah.
How long was the match?
10 minutes.
A 10-minute match. No overtime or anything.
No.
Okay.
Yes, so he went for the second option, like you really avoid fight.
Oh, so it was kind of a, I wouldn't say stall. I didn't watch the match, but he kind of just staying away a little bit, or what?
Yeah, no, I would say playing conservative, But since it's a submission only match, I don't think play conservative is the most ideal way of doing it.
Mm.
So I think it's just different strategies, and you need to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a 1 hour match, you definitely want to be more conservative.
For sure.
If it's a match with advantage on it, you might
Wanna
want
attack
to be
more,
more
right?
conservative. But if it's a submission only match where there's no advantage and there's no points, you want to go for it
Yeah.
more than usually.
Because with that is like the judges give their decision.
Yes.
What they think won.
Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of strategy, for each type of fight. If it was if it was a different set of rules with and I'm not saying about this fight, I'm just saying
In
whatever
general,
fight,
yeah.
right? I might fight one person on 3 different rule sets, and my strategy for the 3 of them will be different.
Depending on the rules,
Yeah.
right?
You've done an hour. You've done an hour match before.
No, I'd love to.
Damn, that'll be.
What's your longest match? You remember? 10?
Yeah, it was always 10. Yeah.
Mine was
People, so there's hours
Mine
matches.
was 15.
What?
People do hour matches.
It's
rare.
It's rare because of
That's
that.
crazy.
Because both people need to be more conservative, otherwise they're gonna get out.
Mhm.
Right, so it ended up being a more boring match.
I was gonna say no.
That's how Gordon
Yeah,
Ryan,
so-
right? He be doing
so
like hour matches.
Yeah.
for the public is not that fun. You know, especially somebody who like if you are like a jiu-jitsu nerd, you're gonna be seeing every single thing that's happening, every detail that's happening. But if, for example, you invite your mom to watch it, she's gonna be watching that like
So you don't fall asleep.
yeah, exactly. You know, so I think that's the reason why there's not much of that. But I would love to do it.
And you ever thought of you ever been on like Who's Number One? They never hit you up.
No. So we had plans, talking to our manager,
Mhm.
you know, but it's still figuring out the details and everything. We'll see.
Cause I know they're doing gi and no gi now,
Yeah.
right? What do you think about the jiu-jitsu scene where it's going? Like it's way different, right? It's from when I started. It's so different.
It's growing.
It's growing, yeah.
It's growing, man. But the only thing I wish that the values of the art would remain
Maintain.
intact.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that sometimes some of the things that are happening, they're kind of creating some distortions of the values of the martial art, which I personally don't like. I
Mhm.
don't agree with. You know, so I just, you know, of course I like the evolution of and you know all of that, but I think that some organizations can do it in a healthier way.
I agree, for sure.
Yeah, Gracie has a high standard, so
Yeah. Nothing specific, you know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put any organization that is doing anything like
Wrong per se.
wrong or anything like that. Of course not. You know, we just
you
I
know-
would just really like for them to reinforce the values of the art. Let's put it that way. You know, I don't think that they're doing anything wrong, but I would think it would be awesome for them to reinforce the values of it.
because you know, if you say you're a black belt from Gracie versus like a black belt that no one really knows, like they say there's a real black belt and then there's like a real black belt.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Meeting those
JB, you ain't
standards.
getting no black belt in 3 years, so you can't buy your
Yeah,
shit.
so it's
You know-
famous that there are levels to this shit.
There's definitely levels.
Yeah,
And
it's
I-
not easy being a jerk when you're like
Training with these people, these two guys, man, it's I've never trained with somebody like Lucas. Like he will rip your leg in half, literally.
he'll come home limping on the what happened, Lucas got
Andressa too. It's always fun though. Always fun training with you guys.
Yeah.
And anything y'all got coming up as far as competition?
Competition is still a bit unclear now.
Okay.
They're open to set fights.
Mhm.
Yeah, we know our manager is in the works for it. You know, Vitor Doria, you know, he's amazing.
Oh, that you're with
Yeah.
what is it?
Doria.
Yeah, but what's his management? The Fighter's Choice, right? Or it's not that no more?
No, just him.
You-
Okay.
Victor Doria, yeah.
Is there-
So
Give me
he
one
does an amazing job, you know. So we just trust him on.
That's another part of jiu-jitsu that's really growing. Like people have managers now,
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
it's not the same. Like you just kind
No,
of
for sure not.
it's become like a real sport. Oh, it always been.
It
but,
became
you know,
mainstream a little bit.
it's like one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
Yeah.
Now everyone
Hmm
You've been telling me for 10 years.
I've been telling them since I started. Hey,
I wanna
just come.
train.
come to
They
the-
put me
come
in
to the gym.
baseball when I was 4 years old, so I was just like in that type of sport. Like growing up, they'll put him in baseball. He wouldn't like it.
I didn't like it.
He just like he was fighting in school. So when
That
he
was
found
really
jiu-jitsu,
bad.
it was perfect. He was just fighting.
That's great.
and then it calmed him down.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
stopped
never
fighting.
fought again.
Yeah,
Since I
man,
started
that's the funny
jiu-jitsu,
thing,
I
like,
didn't fight.
The
No more.
better you know how to fight, the less you actually fight.
Right. I
That's
think I got
interesting.
into one after that, but like I used to fight all the time, and then like when I joined jiu-jitsu, like I know
he
how
would
to
ever
brush
find a
things
sport.
off.
I never
like
thought he'll find a sport he liked. Because my mom put us in everything, and he would never stick with it. But you put yourself in jiu-jitsu? Or?
yeah,
You
my mom.
put yourself.
My mom used to drive me like 30 minutes
Yeah.
to El Dorado after school. I started when I was 18. I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And I liked fighting. I love UFC, Royce Gracie. I
Yeah.
love Royce Gracie. and Anderson Silva. He's from Curitiba, and he's my favorite fighter. And I just
Anderson.
yeah, Anderson Silva. I love Anderson. He's like a superhero. Like, come on, right?
Yeah.
The way he knocked people out,
16
And the way that
in
he-
a row.
the way he moves is crazy. Yeah.
And you say you used to fight at heavyweight, like whenever you
Yeah,
met, like
what weight is heavyweight?
No, actually, he was doing.
Yeah, no, I was the same weight, but yeah, I was just
oh, what does that mean?
You
When
just
I-
fighting bigger people?
yeah. When I
Holy
was
shit.
when
You
I
were
was
in a child,
yeah
right?
when I went out
Oh.
the brown belt, you know, I wanted to kind of just to have a lot of experience, to get into black belt. So I fought lightweight, medium weight, medium heavy, super heavy, ultra heavy, and open class.
Damn. So how heavy were your opponent? Like the heaviest?
Like ultra
I've
heavy,
seen
there's
you
no
with a
limit. Yeah, ultra
huge
heavy, there's
guy.
no limit. So the guy can
What?
weight whatever he wants.
You don't even have necks at the
Yeah, and yeah, I don't even know. I think ultra heavy is what? No, heavy is 220. I don't even know honestly.
And how much were you weighing?
Heavy's 95
200.
Like at the time, I was probably weighing like
205 or
166, 167.
So they had like 60, 70 pounds on you?
Yeah, probably.
And you're still beating them?
Yeah.
It's like so.
Yeah, if he was losing a lot, you would. I don't like that
Yeah.
guy. He gotta have the credentials. And
Imagine if I was not tough, I would suffer too. In his
he wouldn't have chose you.
if you're a white belt, he probably wouldn't have looked your way.
Oh, man.
Right?
So do you guys roll like
Oh, all the time.
all the time?
Yesterday you were training.
Yeah.
It was sore. Yeah, before I used to like get mad, when it's squashing the face.
He's one of my best training partners ever.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
Now I can okay, he's doing this stuff for me because he's really strong, he's really good, really like he's teaching me something with this. Sometimes I still get frustrated.
Yeah.
It's normal. You were suffering your bottom, like
Yeah.
sweat and like, choking you out. You just trying to catch a breath,
Mhm.
But I feel like my defense got so much better. Get so much better when I train with you because I try to work another point of my game. More my defense.
For sure.
Avoiding him to improve. That's my type of thing when I train with Lucas. It's different than whenever I train with somebody else.
Yeah.
That I want to keep push up the pace.
Yeah.
With him I gotta be more aware and try to avoid him.
Keep your legs safe.
If I survive until the end, I'm happy.
Yeah, 'cause the best thing is to train with people that's gonna somehow push you,
Yeah.
So, I have the guys that I like to train the most, and you're gonna notice that they are the toughest guys and the most competitive ones, because I'm super hyper competitive. So I like to train with people who are super competitive too. That's why I like to train with Cafe a lot. And
He told me the story.
yeah.
Tell him about that right now.
So I like training with Cafe a lot, and I like training with Andressa a lot, because they don't give up, and they're not gonna simply quit. They're gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep trying to yank my head out, and this I love it. So those are the people that I like to train the most.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to your matches and
Exactly.
Kick ass.
you take people out.
But I was telling him about that cafe name. I was like,
What-
brother, because he said cafe. I'll be there shortly. And I was telling them, I was like, we're in California, right? With Mike Trent.
Yeah.
And I
Freaking
was inviting them to. I think
shout out here to Mike.
shout out to Mike
Crawfish
Trent,
King.
Crawfish King,
Oh, that's
the
guy
best
who-
crafish
Hey, we need to get him on the podcast.
ever. We'll get him on the
Best
podcast.
Yeah.
soon.
Crawfish ever. Not only Houston.
Just ever.
I think it would be the funniest podcast we've ever did.
I think so too.
If we bring Mike.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll hit up Mike. But we're in California. I think we're doing. It was Nogi Worlds. Had to have been or Pan. But anyways, we're driving around and I'm like, hey, I want to go to this cafe where they let us smoke. and ever since then, that name stuck.
Yeah,
And
Cafe
And
King.
then I asked you guys, where were you? And you were like, oh, we were at a cafe. I was like, okay. And I was like, hold on. Cafe, you mean like coffee shop? And you're like, no, other cafe. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And also, it was so funny. Me and Mike Trent go to the restaurant and like you can order like joints or whatever, and they just bring it to with your food. Yeah, they bring your plate. Like you order like a salad or whatever, and they bring you. You choose your type of weed, and they bring it to you. But I think they closed down, right?
Yeah, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, so that's why he's Cafe King. You know, and I was all innocent. I think I was at Whole Foods, honestly. I think I was at Whole Foods, and I was like, man, what is Mike and Cafe?
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys say you're going somewhere, and I think
We put up on y'all, right?
somebody
We
was
put
like-
up on y'all at Whole Foods.
So yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I was like, where are they? I thought they're going to meet us, and then I call you.
Yeah.
Like, where are you guys at? And they're like, oh, we're at a cafe. And I was like, well, come to Whole Foods. There's coffee here also. And they're like, Professor, it's not that cafe.
Funny story.
That was fun.
Thanks.
And
Is there like, do you get like for jujitsu? Do you take like drug tests and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not random like they do UFC. You know, have certain dates that they do it, and the federation chooses it. So it's not every tournament. It's not every federation.
Okay. So some allow it.
Only I do that.
Yeah.
no, most tournaments, you like ADCC, they don't test you.
Yeah.
But IBJJF is like the leading, it's like the NBA of jiu-jitsu. Literally, NFL, biggest sport.
Is boxing big over there at all? In,
In
Brazil?
Yeah, actually, a Brazilian guy just won the world title. Again, Esquiva Galvão.
You know what it is?
In what weight? Do you know?
It's probably like 150.
Okay.
He's a boxing Golden Glove champion.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Three
wanna
times?
do
Three times.
Yeah, I
Oh,
want to do jujitsu, but
That's awesome.
I told him
He wants to get in the cage.
He wants to get in the MMA cage, like he wants to fight.
Do it.
And I told him,
But he
I
needs
wanna
to-
train like
he don't have no
grappling 'cause
ground
I have
game.
no zero ground. I have zero.
do you know like if they're gonna do like an MMA program again at Webster at the new location?
They're doing already. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
It's Isai, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all do that? Like
Yeah.
striking?
You what?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Do you train
tried? Have you ever
striking?
done striking?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like it?
We train boxing a lot too.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. See, I've been doing that since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, he's.
That was like a
He said
chore
his
to me. And
his
then
dad
I-
made him.
Yeah. I like got tired
Of boxing?
of it. Yeah. I did it so long for so many years.
What do you think about the burnout when you started as a kid? I know it didn't obviously,
Yeah.
but it happened with you. But
I think
what is that?
It has a lot to do with that challenge thing. You know, I think most people they don't train smart enough. I think they just think about how work, and for the how work is showing up to train. That's the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's what
Right.
everybody does. And you do that over and over for 10 years, for 15 years, you're going to get burned out because you're literally doing the same thing over and over and over again without, and like when you say, oh, you got to do repetition, you know, it's not like you're going to do scissor sweep for 10 years.
Or jab.
Yeah, you're going to do variations of it, new
Right.
setups of it,
Yeah.
you know, but it's still the same thing because it's still boxing, it's still the jab, but you're doing different setups. But I think a huge part of that is, I think it's pretty easy to be intense for a short time. You know, that's pretty easy to be. But intense for a long time, that's the hard part. You know, that's how you need those waves of recovery and work. You know, so I tell clearly, you know, and you know this, you know, and everybody close to me know that like I'm obsessed, right? But the thing is, being obsessed, anybody can be obsessed for a week. You know,
Mhm.
every white belt is obsessed for the first month.
Yeah.
You know, but the key is, can you have sustained obsession? You know, can you sustain the obsession over a decade, over 2 decades, over
Mm-hmm.
3 decades, whatever? You know, and that's something that I really we're talking about Kobe Bryant. You know, and that's something that really I admire about Kobe. You know, he was able to maintain that sustained obsession his whole career.
Kobe's one of the goats. Mamba mentality.
Exactly. You know, so it's even other NBA players, you know, they get really good. They train intensely until they get to NBA, and then they start. You know, they get a lot of money, they got a lot of fame. They don't have the obsession anymore.
Yep.
Happens
know?
a lot.
So they were obsessed for maybe
Half of their life.
yeah, for a decade. Maybe from they're obsessed from 15 to 25, and then they're not obsessed anymore.
They accept the money.
You know, so what took them there, they stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm. So like you said, I like what you said. Going to the gym is barely like step one, right?
That you have to go to the gym every day with an intention. You know, like you have to go to the gym with, okay, this I'm gonna do this. So this motivational thing of like, man, just show up. For me, that's the biggest BS ever. Just show up. And I heard this from other amazing jiu-jitsu fighters too, saying that if you're going to the gym just to punch the clock, basically, right? It's better not even to go. Because why? Because you're gonna be burning yourself out, and actually gonna harm you more than help you. You know, so of course you're gonna have the discipline. You not always want to go, but the moment you decide to go, you gotta have an intention.
For sure.
You know, doesn't matter how you go. If you go walking, if you go running, if you go dragging yourself to the gym, you gotta do that with an intention of what you're gonna do that day. You know, and I understand that most people, you know, if you're not a black belt, if you're not the professor teaching, you're not gonna have that control. You're not gonna have control over the class. But you can always, but whatever the intention is, for example, we're working spider guard or half guard, right? And we do specific training for half guard, and we tell the person, okay, we're gonna do here. Your goal is to sweep from half guard. So immediately, because they feel uncomfortable there, they immediately recover to whatever other type of guard they feel comfortable.
Just instinct.
Exactly. Right. So they're not having the intention of working on half guard. You know, so even if you don't have that control, you know, if you're not the main instructor or you're not a professional fighter, and whatever, it's not a private training, whatever, every training you can and you should have an intention. You know, either you set the intention for yourself, or your instructor will set the intention for you, but you need to follow it. You know, and I guarantee you that any good professor will give you an intention for the training, but it's up to you to follow that intention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's if you start there and people think, okay, I'm starting half guard, I'm doing the specific, but as soon as they can, they remove themselves from half guard. That way you're
It's kind of productive, right?
Exactly. You're not even you're doing the bare minimum of just showing up.
You heard that?
You're like you're like the Lomachenko of jiu-jitsu. You're very smart, and
Thank you.
when it comes to IQ and jiu-jitsu.
But yeah, how do you keep that obsession like for so long? Or was there ever a point where you weren't like so obsessed?
I've ever been that way. And
Sometimes you have to move it down.
yeah, like, drug tells me to leave the gym,
Take a day off.
yeah, to start training, kind of stuff. But I don't know. It was always
Just wanted to get better.
yeah. I think it
Wanted to be the
just
best.
like I can't sit still because I know there's so much to improve. You know, I know there is a new variation from that position that I can improve. I know there is that I can get faster. I know I can get more explosive. I know I can get more powerful. You know, I know there's always something to improve. So, I know it's important. I do it. You know, but for me, the biggest discipline is to rest.
Recovery.
You know, and I started putting.
That's really hard.
Yeah, and I started putting
I know.
rest for me
Mm-hmm.
as a like the only way that I found for me to rest was to lead that to higher performance. If you tell me to rest just to rest, you know, I wouldn't do it. But if you tell me, okay, when you rest, this is making you faster, more powerful, and more agile here, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then I start doing it. But I think it was just, for me, it was natural, you know, but it's something that I always try to put on the people that come to me for help. Like I can't do this to every student because that's not what the majority of them want. You know, but for example, I do that with Andressa. You know, I do that with, for example, I bring somebody from Brazil that asks, Professor, can you help me? You know, I wanna Jiu-Jitsu be my life. Okay, and then I put them to the obsession, and for me it was always very, I don't know, natural. I think I had
For you,
this,
for
this
sure.
good example. You know, like I never in my life, I never try alcohol. I have no idea of the taste. I have no idea of anything.
You don't know what weed tastes like?
Hmm?
You know what weed tastes like?
I never try any drug. Not
Weed is not a drug, sir.
Okay.
It's a plant.
So,
I'm just
okay, so I never tried
Yeah.
any weed, any type of
Tobacco.
drug, nothing. You know, I never tried any alcohol, any drug, any weed. So I'm putting it in the category for you. So I never tried any of those three things. And you know, for me it was just, and people ask, oh,
He didn't believe me when I was telling
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't
bro, this
believe
guy is clean as a whistle.
like it just doesn't.
It don't like excite you or anything. Like
No, because it's like, oh, people say, oh, beer, you need to drink, or whatever. You need to drink a few times to be able to enjoy it, right? But like, does it help me? I'm not saying about the regular folk that you know,
right.
But does that help me in my jiu-jitsu? No.
No.
So I'm gonna force myself to do something that's not gonna help me.
They don't even want.
it's gonna make you worse if anything.
Exactly, you know, so that there's no reason for me to do that. So it's like people, oh, don't you miss, like, don't you crave Burger King, McDonald's, whatever? Like, man, I haven't had one in over 15 years.
It's been that long?
What do you eat?
What do
I
you
have
eat,
no
dog?
idea of the taste of it. How I'm gonna miss something that I don't even have any memory of it.
All right, well,
A lot
tell
of- a
us
lot of
this.
chicken or
I got a question. My bad. What is Lucas' cheat meal? What if you do eat what unhealthy food do
Do you want me to answer or her?
you?
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
of you.
actually
Yeah.
her because she probably knows you better.
Man, quantity. Quantity. For me, a cheat meal, I'll eat the same thing for more quantity.
Okay, just more.
So there's no cheat meal then?
The thing is, he's
Brigadeiros?
a guy because I cook really well.
Okay.
Yeah, she cooks
You know?
really well.
I see
and
that,
she,
yeah.
And she can always,
I always try like
make
new-
healthy stuff.
Yeah, making like healthy pizza, healthy
Oh, okay.
carrot cake.
Mm,
Just healthy
potatoes.
so you make it fun?
I
Yeah.
make it fun. Yes, I make it work inside our diet. So I choose ingredients and I make. Like I can make meatballs, like in the air fryer. I
Yeah.
make so much stuff because like
See, I still eat good.
Yeah.
No, but they post. Yeah, I see you post food sometimes.
Yeah, but
It all
for
looks-
I, for
me,
example, we're gonna eat roasted potatoes with bison meat and vegetables.
Nice.
That's gonna be our dinner, you know.
Yeah.
So that it really tastes like French fries and hamburger fries, you know. So it feels like we're eating that,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, the pizza, I can make a really healthy one
Mhm.
because I know the ingredients that I can mix it that will get into our macros, you know.
Oh, y'all getting on macros?
Get into our macros. So I really like to make sometimes cookies, healthy cookies. And Lucas is a lucky guy that enjoys, you know, because he knows that we buy only good ingredients. So he knows that I will make something that he can eat because there are no bad ingredients.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Like a steak or like chicken?
man, I love fish.
I love fish
I
too.
like fish a lot.
What kind of fish? Oh,
Cod?
Man, honestly, any fish.
salmon.
Any fish.
Me too. I'm a fish guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I am
And-
a picanha.
Yeah.
I like I really like
Picanha. I go to the Brazilian steakhouses, all you can eat.
You're like, yeah.
Picanha
No,
is
but,
so
but
good.
for me, like, I have like, I think my mindset is different than most competitors in regards to this. So, for me, like, most people will fight. They're gonna prepare to fight. They're gonna get ready to fight. So either they win or lose. They will, okay, they leave the tournament. They're gonna, you know, eat a ton of crap.
In and out is like a
Yes.
thing for Brazilian
Yes,
jiu-jitsu.
yes,
In and out.
they love eating that in and out thing.
Have you tried?
Some Brazilians after a tournament?
Go to In and Out. Trust me, I've gone.
They always say.
You know, so they always do that. But for me, either if you win or you don't, the moment you finish that fight, you're already getting ready for your next fight. You know, so for me, you finish the fight. Let's suppose I fought last weekend, right? I won, and what I ate to celebrate was I ate a big acai bowl that I did. You know, I made a big acai bowl, but before that, I drank green juice with mixed greens, beets, celery, carrots.
Healthy.
You know, because I just finished this fight. Now I'm going to get ready for my next
The
one.
work continues.
Exactly. The work continues. You know, I don't want to give that
No
pause.
breaks. No breaks.
Especially because after a fight, you go through so much stress, right? Adrenaline and getting ready for it, that your body needs to recover from it.
And if you take like a cheat meal right after, you are not allowing your body to recover. You're actually going to feel sick later.
I remember you got a mine and a cake's ass, and it was American Nationals. I think I got third or something, and I was eating like a granola bar. He's like,
We're going to fight after too.
yeah, I was. And you're like, dude, you know, you told me, did you win? I was like, no. Why are you celebrating?
You remember that? Yeah.
I think I threw cake chips on the trash.
You did. I think so.
Did I?
I think so. Because we're eating munchies, like we're just hungry, like, and he was like,
And
you didn't even, like, no, it was in Dallas, right? I think it was in Dallas.
I think so. But that case specifically, you know, like, I don't really care if a son of mine, you know, he gets ready, he prepares, he goes to compete, he competes. I don't really care about the result as long as they perform their best. You know, they put a lot of effort into it. Perfect the result for them, you know, that doesn't really matter as long as they did their best. But supposedly, that case, for example, they fought Gi and they were gonna fight no Gi the next day. And I don't remember if it was Café's case, but sometimes like people they gonna be on a diet to make that weight, and they're gonna sometimes be without eating, which is wrong, or dehydrating, whatever that is. You are depleting your body of nutrients, right? And then you finish fighting, so it doesn't matter if you won or if you didn't. You're fighting again the next day. Your body is stressed by the adrenaline of fighting, you know, and by the lack of food or lack of nutrients that you had. And now you leave the fight and you're gonna eat chips, for example. You know, it's kind of like a punch in the face to your body, since you're gonna fight tomorrow.
Because now it's gonna recover.
Exactly. So your body's craving for nutrients that you were avoiding putting into it to be able to make weight, right? And then you go and put something that's not gonna solve the problem.
Makes sense.
I even say, okay, you want to do that? At least eat something that's gonna solve the problem. You know, leave the tournament, go eat a big meal, a big rice, beans, lean protein, vegetables, whatever, and then after that you eat the cheat meal that you want to eat. But don't eat the cheat meal right after you fight. You know, at least
You almost send your body in shock, right?
Exactly. You know, like at least give your body a chance to recover.
That makes sense.
Actually, when I finish fighting, I want to eat like a real meal, like salad, vegetables, a protein,
Steak or something.
Yeah, or maybe fish,
Mhm.
or chicken, anything like that will like make me
Feel good.
Fill my body up, you know, like make me feel good. That like it's gonna be okay. Now I can have a dessert or something like that.
And you eat. I know you eat healthy too, but do you do cheat meals or not?
Like I am more balanced
Okay.
than Lucas. You know, I can like have chocolate that is sugar on it. Not fine, you know. I don't get like obsessed. I'm not gonna eat this, but I really try to follow like the steps.
For sure. It's easy when you're a couple, right? And they both kind of have the same similar goals. Like me and Joanna, I don't have like you know, like I'm not trying to make weight. I'm just, so I don't have a goal right now. But you guys kind of keep each other like on top of it, right?
Yeah, we always keep in track. Like, did you drink your juice today? Did you get your vegetables today? Okay, you did. So every single day we follow those same right.
Okay.
And like having him as my accountability partner, it's amazing because
He's gonna hold you accountable.
yes, we always have each other. Even like whenever we were on the quarantine, it was I thought that we were gonna get crazy, but actually we kept really like we kept ourselves sane because we kept ourselves in a routine. Even though we couldn't leave the house, we had a training room
Mm-hmm.
in the carpet with
Yeah,
free
we were-
weights.
We were training 3 times a day during the quarantine.
Yeah, we're studying, like watching
study, yeah.
videos. You know, we made like a routine for us to follow during quarantine, and we
Yeah.
had the accountability, like to help each other keep following like a diet,
Mhm.
keep eating well, even though we didn't know when things were gonna open.
Right.
You know, we wanted to leave quarantine better than when we started,
For sure.
and we did that.
Cause you
They
kind of like
closed-
that.
They closed the gyms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, it was kind of like for me as far as I thought it was like it was a time for people that were serious to get better, while people that were slacking or not as serious kind of going down, while you're kind of
Like,
keeping the momentum going,
day
right?
They announced that everything was gonna close. Actually, I had a super fight schedule for 2 days after.
Me too with Durkos.
Yeah.
the third
I,
Same.
had, I was gonna do the main event. And I got
Was it JT?
against, JT.
I remember that. I was
Yeah.
on.
It was me against JT, and they canceled the event 2 days.
That would have been an amazing match.
That was
Yeah, 2 days before, you know, and like everything was so uncertain because they were like, oh, we might be,
You might,
like,
yeah.
the whole country might be in quarantine for a month, 2 months, maybe 6. Like nobody had
No
had
idea.
any idea of what was going on. So I came to Andressa the same day. I was like, okay, so apparently I don't know what's going on. We don't know when this is gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, we need to make a promise to ourselves. We need to leave the quarantine better than when we enter it.
For sure.
You know, so the first day we already created a training routine that we were gonna follow every single day. You know, and I think that's what kept us sane.
Yeah, we ran to academy, bought a few things like to hang up, to do pull-ups, you know.
Yeah, I had.
I honestly
We had
think
some
I
kettlebells.
almost got to overtraining during quarantine.
You did overtrain.
Yeah, because we're getting tired, really, really tired. It was
Trying to find new things.
because we follow a routine, and that will take time. And then whenever you see it already late in the night,
Mhm.
you gotta sleep to wake up next day, do it all over again. So the days were passing faster. We're not doing nothing like.
Yeah, you just being at home.
Yeah, we're being at home, but find studs, like reading books, or maybe we do our workout,
Mm-hmm.
and then we drill in a piece of mats that we got it from the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We just got one piece
Take it home.
to be able to drill on that.
That's funny. It's funny because before the quarantine, like I bought mats from. I don't know. You remember Ben Reed?
Yeah.
My homie Ben Reed. Shout out to Ben. He sold me like it was 2 pieces of mats. It's probably like this big. I don't know. Like it was 2 pieces, and like I use it during quarantine. Like
Yeah.
during quarantine, we'll have like sessions at my garage. You remember that?
Yeah.
No 8
Yeah.
stages.
Remember that? My dad will be walking in. We'll just be all. Yeah. Well, yeah, quarantine was crazy. It was a crazy time, wasn't it? And what are some of y'all's favorite submissions? I had to ask.
Anything my opponent gives to me. Anything.
I like arms.
You like arms?
Arms and chokes.
Arms and chokes. I think Lucas likes feet.
I like anything they give to me.
He doesn't want to tell ya.
Yeah. I think sometimes the feet is more accessible. You know,
It's like
he
it's-
takes it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person giving it to him.
Yeah.
So he's like a candy that you really, really like it, but you avoid eating it. But the person's like giving it to you.
Yeah, might as well take it. Like,
Yeah, might as well take it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's how he
The
does
thing
it.
is, it was always like this, you know, like I started having, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I started having like a really good guard, and then it was like mostly like defensive, you know, like people were having a lot of trouble in it, and they, you know. But then I started attacking a lot of upper body submission. Started doing a lot of omoplata, triangle, arm bars, and then to avoid that, they started sitting back to avoid that.
Okay.
And then I started to attack the legs. And then when I started attacking the legs, they started being afraid of it, so they started like move the legs back. And then I started to attack a lot of berimbolo to reach the back. And then it kind of goes into that cycle.
Okay.
You know, like
whatever your opponent gives you.
I go to attack on the classical pin guard, which is I wouldn't say my favorite guard. It's just the one I use the most, right? And they either sit back, afraid of the arm and you know, arm, triangle, whatever. So they give me the legs. So they don't want to give me the legs. They need to move the upper body forward, which they give me access to their arm and neck one more time. You know, so it's kind of that loop.
Yeah, whatever's there.
Yeah.
Nice. You got any favorite moments you remember, like tournaments? What's your favorite tournament you won? Was it Brazilian Nationals? Was that one kind of? It was up there, right?
Yeah, it was definitely up there because it was a dream that I had since I was a little kid. You know, as a black belt. Because for me, it's, you know, so iconic to be national Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. You know, and I had my mom there. And it was a really tough time, you know, for me this past year because my dad had cancer.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I went to Brazil, spent a lot of time with him. You know, he got to the point where he had less than 10% chance of living, and he made it through. So right now he's doing great. You know, he's coming to visit me at the end of the year.
Oh, nice.
You know, so everything's good now. But it was a really tense time for my family, and you know, so like dedicating that to him and my mom.
So that's a special one.
Who suffer a lot. You know, was pretty special. And man, every single tournament had a special taste to me for different reasons. You know, I don't think I've ever did a tournament like I told you, like training without an intention. You know, so I always had a certain plan for doing that tournament, either to be able to train for another tournament that was big or more important, or to try a new skill. You know, so it's, you know, I think every single tournament will have a special taste for me, because if I'm doing this tournament, okay, I'm doing this tournament because I want to try this specific sweep at the high level, and you know, and I win by using that sweep. You know, that's just amazing.
Feels good, yeah.
You know, that feels great.
And you, Andressa, what's your favorite tournament? Where you met Lucas?
So my favorite moment of tournaments, I have a few, but I think that one that it gets me emotion. It is my first workout when I was a black belt. That one that I submitted on my final.
Yeah.
And they just beat the final on my first final. It was like
That was amazing.
breathtaking.
For sure.
Breathtaking, you know. Every time I see a video or a picture, it gives me
You feel it?
goosebumps.
Yeah.
I remember that day, like how was my mindset, how was everything, like being a rookie, you know.
Yeah, how was that? Like, did everything play out the way you expected?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. I started losing. I started the match with her putting on me, getting on my side, already chasing my back. That's how it started.
Dang.
And then I finished on top, and she had like advantage, and she was playing guard. And then I was trying, like, but I watching the match, I see how was my mindset already. I was on my mind. I was going to win. You know, it doesn't matter how I was, but I believed until the end that I was going to find a way to win. And even though I was behind the point, and I didn't show my frustration, you know, and I kept fighting. She scrapped me, and it was 2-0 and 2 advantage for her because of the pass and the Valente. And I swept her back. She was still with the advantage in play guard, so she was good
Mm-hmm.
until I got into my good positions pass and she turned it and took her back into account. So that was amazing.
Everybody went crazy, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. Because the last tournament that I had fought the same girl,
Mhm.
she had submitted me.
Okay.
So she
Gave it up.
before on me.
Okay.
My first Pan-Am was a black belt. And on the next year, I submitted her.
Little payback.
Payback. All the awards.
That's the best feeling, right?
That's the
Beating
best
somebody that's
feeling.
beat you before, that's it's nothing better than that, for sure.
And I know, like, every match is a different,
Mhm.
it's a different match. Next time we fight again, it's gonna be a different person because she improved, you know.
Mhm.
So am I. So
Right.
I'm like excited for the next one.
Cool. Well, let our followers know where they can find you. We can.
They can find me on mostly on Instagram, which is Lucas Valente BJJ.
And my Instagram is Andressa M Cintra.
And you also have your nutrition stuff going, right?
Yeah, so
How does that work? Do you like have a program or?
yeah, I usually do nutrition programs for some of my athletes. You know, I do for some people in Canada and Europe too.
Okay, nice.
You know, is something more related to performance and health than just regular health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they can contact me for it too.
Cool.
I had a question before we end this podcast. I always ask it to everybody.
Okay.
I know y'all probably religious, but
He's slapping.
I always ask, do y'all like believe in the aliens or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of like a UFO crash in Virginia,
Yep.
Brazil?
That's super famous.
Oh yeah, it's
That's-
super
that's-
I
famous.
watched
You
the
didn't
whole
know?
documentary.
That's
Yeah,
my
I watched
home
the whole.
state.
Nah.
Yeah.
So it happened in your
That's
home
like
state.
2 hours from Mountain.
They say they had some.
No, everything there is about alien in the city.
Oh really?
Yeah, look right here. It has it like
Yeah.
there's a UFO.
You're at Space City.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you ever seen anything, or y'all just you know what's out there?
I just know it's out there. You know, I think the universe is so vast that it's impossible for it to have it.
You can't be the only one.
Yeah, and we have several students who work at NASA. You know, and
You get the secrets.
I wish. I
I
wish.
wish, but they say like you.
But they never deny.
They
Yeah,
said
they never said that.
They never denied.
There is none. No.
Oh, you asked them?
there's been a
Oh,
few
yeah.
in Brazil, like UFO crashes. Like
Yeah.
not just this is the most famous one, the Virginia.
Yeah, but they say in Virginia it wasn't just once. They say
It happened multiple times,
it happened
right?
Multiple times, yeah.
They are trying to get here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of
They
time.
want to meet us.
Or maybe they
Maybe
already
they're good
are.
at jujitsu.
Yeah, maybe they want to like.
Maybe I am one.
I don't doubt it.
It wouldn't surprise me. Either.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you
y'all
guys.
for kicking it with Space City. My man Lucas
so
came
much,
by.
guys.
It
For the big pleasure.
was fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yo, what up, man? It's Dope Man, the body your God, and right now you kicking it with Space City Collective right in the southeast.
You're now kicking it with Space City. That's right.
Yo, what's going down? It's that boy T, the screwed up SA, and you now kicking it with Space City Podcast.